Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello to you, welcome back to the channel and welcome today to what I like to call Homeball. It is time to head home from the 2018 Gumball 3000. Now traditionally when the rally starts and ends in different locations, I've always had a go ball to get there or a home ball to get back home. So this year's rally started in my hometown of London, but we finished the other side of the world in Tokyo. But not only that, I actually left my AMG GT R at the midpoint in Bologna, Italy. So today I've got to fly back to London, swap around some stuff, then fly to Bologna, collect my car, then drive it to my place in Frankfurt. It's a sad time to bring Gumball to an end, but what a journey it's been. I'm going to be leaving some of the cars still here at the hotel in Tokyo, but we need to get over to the airport, catch a flight to get this very long journey over 2 days started. It's actually not even 7 AM in the morning right now here in Japan, but some of the Gumball cars still remain here at the hotel. Team Hell 720S, the 812, the Nismo GTR N-Attack, the SLR, the 300 SL. But it is time now to say farewell to all of these cars and jump into a taxi over to the airport for the 12-hour flight back towards London. Farewell, Tokyo. Up we go then, 12 hours ahead until touchdown in London, but what a trip this has been to Japan. I think it's fair to say that the weather here in London is not quite as good as it was in Japan. But there we are, touchdown on the ground at Heathrow. And chill, back home, but not for long. I've got a flight to catch in a couple of hours to Bologna in Italy. Before then though, I've got to sign some forms for the Ford GT to make sure that's all set and done. Then I'm going to receive back the red edition Focus RS from Mountune, who had it on display at Ford Fair. And then I need to head by my storage to check out the McLaren and the Aston, because you might have seen the videos I shot with CarWow just before we went on the Gumball to celebrate them reaching 1 million subscribers. So I need to go buy the cars that have been unloaded back in the garage while I've been away. So just to make sure all is well before going back to the airport to catch another flight. Clearly things are currently going as scheduled. So a friend just came by to drop off my car keys for the McLaren and the Aston that he parked up in storage. And meanwhile, the red edition Focus RS has come back from Mountune. Now they had it to have on their show stand at Ford Fair, which unfortunately I couldn't attend because it was the same weekend as the start of the Gumball in London. But I know that many of you guys were able to get down there and see the car, the project car, in its first completed stage. We've done a lot of the visual elements, so we did the proto trim refit to the interior, then it had the carbon fiber exterior aero package from Ventus Veloce that was installed at Dub Customs, then some smaller things like the gold wheels painted at Poshwash, the SS tuning steering wheel and gear shift knob, the lower seat frames from JCR Developments, but that was the visual side. The fact that it's now been on show with Mountune gives you a hint as to what is coming next. So I've got a very, very busy period right ahead of me, lots of traveling, lots of places that I'm going to be going to, but when I get back in about 2 months time, it will be time for stage 2, and that is when we can attack the engine, the driving dynamics, that side of the modification. So I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, 2 things down, let's head back inside and keep cracking on with the task list. I've done the GT documents and I'm back upstairs where I need to now rapidly repack my suitcase, throw out the Gumball stuff and grab some new clothes because I'm not going to be back home again until after my next couple of trips abroad. This summer is proving to be pretty busy at the moment, but while I'm here, I've also just received some new t-shirts that are in the Shmee shop right now, so you can check out the link down below to see these if you are interested. So very topically, we have the new Ford GT Heritage design with the red and gold to match the colours of my car, of course, and a couple of other t-shirt designs with the quotes on them that you can see here, all in the store. So check those out if you're interested. For now though, I think it's time to get my bag sorted out and get over to the storage. All looks present and correct at the storage, but the weird thing for me is that the 2 cars were parked up here while we were already somewhere in Italy on Gumball. Now, very last minute before the rally, I joined CarWow to do some runway drag races to celebrate them reaching 1 million YouTube subscribers. So I raced in my Vantage GT8 against Matt from CarWow driving in a V8 DB11, and then I raced in my LT Spider against Matt in a 720S, and then we did the AMG GT R up against an E63S Estate. We also did a few other races, and I've got a video video coming very soon of the GT8 versus the GTR versus the LT Spider, so stay tuned for that in a couple of days' time. But I know what confused most of you guys was how did we manage to fit that in, given the AMG GTR was half stickered for the Gumball in the videos. So we started the wrap and the stickers, then trucked up these two, blasted up to the runway in the GTR, then came back into London late in the afternoon to start off and complete the rest of the stickers, working late into the night with Dub Customs to basically fit it all in just in time to then head off and depart when the rally got going. It was all very last minute, absolutely packed in, but an awesome time. Anyway, now that we're back here and the two cars have been brought back and parked up, of course I need to check that everything is well with them because they're not going to be driven too much, make sure they're on their trickle chargers. I don't have time to clean them, unfortunately, which is basically upsetting my OCD, but no particularly big problem, so I'm not going to cover them up because getting the inside of covers dirty is a bit of a problem. But the trickle chargers are on and doing what they should be, and all is well with these two. So now let's go find the AMG GTR. It's time to head back to the airport, catch another flight. About, well, 4 hours ago I landed from Tokyo, had to get home into central London first, and now we're going back to Heathrow again. And up we go again. And touchdown, Italy. It feels like just yesterday that I was here at Bologna Airport, but in fact it was now about 10 days ago that we were loading the cars up, watching them being put onto the containers ready to go onto the cargo planes to fly to Japan, and we were getting set for our adventure on Gumball Air. Now that plane was about 16 hours from Bologna via a fuel stop in Almaty, Kazakhstan to get to Osaka in Japan. But one of the cool things while we were here on the ground in Italy was how Lamborghini have a tie-up with Bologna Airport. So out on the tarmac, there's a Huracan LP580 that kind of guides the planes around. And here in the arrivals hall, you have a Huracan Performante and the new Urus, which are always cool to see. I had a test drive with the Lamborghini Urus not all that long ago, the world's first super sport SUV as they pitch it. This spec is very nice actually, with a light interior and a blue exterior. Of course I'm going to be drawn towards that. And then alongside it is a satin orange Huracan Performante, the track version of the Huracan itself. Gold wheels against the satin orange I actually really like, as well as the tricolore stripe that it wears down the side and all its forged carbon. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of the forged carbon, but it is very, very Lamborghini. So those are always cool to see on arrivals. Anyway, I should head out and go find my car. Here it is then. How strange is this, seeing the car still fully decked out for Gumball, a little bit dirty, yes, that's for sure, because we literally parked it here when we left. But back with it, it's going to be funny driving it fully stickered up on its own without other Gumball cars, which I'm a little bit anxious about, to be completely honest. Clearly the sticker war went crazy. Team Alpha, Team Aztec, more Team Aztec. In fact, I think we got Team Aztec stickers absolutely everywhere around the car as I go around, just having a quick glimpse at these, all in the spirit of fun. I think next year is going to be quite wild on that front. But back with the GTR, let me get my luggage loaded up inside the car, and then, well, I think everything should be fine. It's not been that long, no battery issues, nothing like that. And obviously plenty of space and comfort for the long drive that I'm going to have tomorrow. So I'm going about half an hour from here towards a hotel to stay for the night. As you can probably hear, I'm a little bit tired at the moment. Oh yes, we had some towel for just wiping down dirt and things if we needed to. But onwards. Alrighty, so the Gumball legs that we had in Europe were so quick. We had 3 driving days. London to Chantilly, Chantilly to Milan, and then the last leg, Milan to Bologna. Just fire it up. There we go, straight into life instantly. One of the best things about this car is just so usable for everything. And now it's grumbly. The only problem is that the ticket exit machine that I'm going to need to use is positioned for left-hand drive. I've got the toll system for the motorways to drive on my own back towards Germany, but getting out of the car park won't be so easy. Car park shenanigans dealt with, iPod plugged in, navigation set, hotel, here we come. Here we are then, and what a day this has been. In fact, it's now almost 1 a.m. I started this morning Japan time at 6 a.m, 7 hours ahead of now, so 26 hours ago. Yes, I've snoozed on the plane, but I'm completely and totally exhausted. I'm not gonna lie, you can probably tell that on my face. So what I'm gonna do now is get my stuff out, go check in, and then get set for the drive tomorrow, that it's gonna be substantially longer than today's short little hop has been. And then I've got the big decision as to what I'm going to do with the stickers, because I'm a little bit concerned driving it in Germany looking like this might be a problem. But for now, I will say goodnight, and I will see you in the morning to decide which route I'm going to take. Alright then, I am feeling significantly more refreshed and ready for a very long drive ahead. Unfortunately, the weather is on side. It is looking beautiful today, a blue sky day, sun is out, and I think it's going to be very warm, but we've got a few countries to cross from Italy where we're getting started. I'm wearing my Beast or Nothing t-shirt, one of my favourites from the Shmee 150 shop. But before we go anywhere, just take a quick look at the different route options that I have in front of me. So to go from Bologna Airport all the way up to Frankfurt, I can either go this way, crossing through Switzerland. It will take 9 hours 21 minutes and 874 kilometers, but I'd have to drive through Switzerland, and I'm not so sure about that. It's a very slow stretch. It's also one that might be difficult with my stickers. So if I change and take this route, he says, click it there. It's a little bit longer in terms of distance and time, 9 hours 39 and 914 kilometers. But I cut through Austria here, and I've got a lot of driving on a very fast Autobahn through Germany. So coming up from the south here via Kempten, which is where Abt are, and coming up, that's probably the quicker route. So I'm going to go that way, despite what the navigation says, and see how long it takes me to get back home, and potentially have a couple of high-speed stretches on the Autobahn too. So let me get my final bits packed up, and then get down to the car and get today's drive started. Now, I am expecting and hoping that today's journey is going to be an uneventful one. I would like a smooth sailing drive, just clean, easy, efficient journey back towards Frankfurt. So, GTR it is, 900 kilometers in a day, a long stretch for me, but there aren't many better cars to be doing it in, many more exciting cars that still have a mix of performance and practicality. As I told you, I did a video, 8 reasons why the GTR is the perfect Gumball 3000 car, and I stand by that. This car is absolutely brilliant. Anyway, like I said, it's a long journey. I'm just about ready, so let us get the car out of the garage and get this drive started. About 30 minutes into the drive, and my navigation tells me my next turn is in 340 kilometers. Oh boy, that's going to take a while, but what I've realised is how many foreign cars there are on the roads. Loads of Germans, Swiss, Austrians, Dutchies, people from all sorts of countries clearly going back from their holidays. Now that might mean later on I'm going to get some traffic, fingers crossed that's not going to be the case. At the moment it says arrival in Frankfurt at 19:27, 7:27 this evening, so not too bad, a 9.5 hour drive. Let's see how it's going to end up versus that time when I eventually get there. Ignoring the traffic for a moment, is this not one of the world's most beautiful motorways, heading towards the north of Italy, meandering between the steep-sided mountains? If you have to do a long drive, the AMG GT R with views and weather like this is not exactly a bad way to go about it. Generally speaking, this drive is annoying, but here we have a bit of a tunnel, which means noisy mode engaged, drop some gears, bang crack, that noise. Randomly, by the way, there is actually a 488, I think, a few cars behind me in traffic, so maybe I'll go a bit easier. Well, go easier, we're sitting in constant traffic jams, and let that catch up, because, hey, it's a bright red Ferrari in the Italian sunshine. Here it comes then, and it is indeed a 488 GTB, so let me slot in behind. Oh, from Germany as well, from Munich. Everybody on the road at the moment is from Munich, or from Germany. There's a German car in front of the 488, is a German car. On the right up ahead is a German car. All Germans going back, probably from their summer holidays, so it's just annoyingly busy. It's congested, you don't go the speed limit, so you've got this constant having to be really on it for the random braking, because believe me, everybody seems to be desperately impatient. You've got these constant, like, emergency brakes, and obviously this car has the adaptive sensor, so it does it for me, but still, it's constantly like, oh, as the seatbelt pulls you tight and tucks you in. Anyway, still a fair whack to go, and I've knocked absolutely 0 minutes off my time so far, given this kind of traffic. I crossed into Austria, where I had a toll booth on the left side, so I had to pull up at the toll booth, jump out, run round and go and pay. And then one of the guys from one of the toll booths came over to ask for a selfie, so that was kind of funny. But now I find myself driving on some nice roads, which is always a little bonus for the drive, not just sitting on motorways. We have a few twisties to get up towards the south of Germany. This stretch is a particularly nice one, and in this car, it's definitely about to wake me up. Fair notch. Ooh, tunnel. We like all these tunnels. Down a few gears, and then... Mega! I completely forgot that basically it's summer and I'm driving through the Alps. This is exactly where I love to be. It turns out I was wrong again. This much traffic on a mountain pass is no fun at all. We've basically been crawling along A couple of slightly more open stretches, but it's a non-stop line of cars and trucks and caravans and campers and yeah, not exactly what I was hoping for about half an hour ago. Arriving in Germany, and that means Autobahns. Now, up to this point, my arrival time has been pushed back to 1948. I'd got it down to 1916, so I've just had 32 minutes of traffic jam, which is deeply uncool. However, we are now on the Autobahn, which means, individual mode, drop some gears, and open it up, and away we go! This is the bit I missed. This car is so astonishingly fast. And that's 200 kilometers an hour, and onto the brakes because we've got a speed limited section. Lame, that's not what I wanted. However, we will now have some open stretches, hopefully not too much traffic, and get that time back down to 1947 already, but many more minutes to be shaved off. 290 kilometers per hour. Experience the power of a car up to 220, 230, 240, 250, and onto the brakes for the cars ahead. The speed just builds in the most astronomically crazy way. From 120 then, drop it to third gear, foot down, 140, 160, 180, 200, 220, 240, and onto the brakes. It is so fast in this car. You've got to watch out, it's busy today, but when the opportunities come around and it's open in front, to be able to accelerate like this and feel, I mean, this car is just under 700 odd horsepower with the red type remap and the downpipe, but it is so quick, yet also so stable at these speeds, with a long wheelbase, a wide track, thick tyres, some downforce for extra aero. It just sticks down, it's poised, it's like glued to the tarmac. The tarmac here being particularly smooth. And you know, we're just cruising along right now at 240 kilometers an hour around a gentle corner, watching out for the traffic ahead, but feeling so in control. The four-wheel steer helping for stability at higher speeds. The same four-wheel steer that lets a silly car like this maneuver and turn around on the sixpence as well. It's such a nice place to drive. You just make good progress and you enjoy it as well. Oh, that was the safety system detecting that the car in front was braking, even though it wasn't actually as dramatic as I think it needed to be. The car tightens in the seatbelt, just makes sure you're completely safe. It can get annoying, like then, when it's a little bit overreactive, because I'm not sure what was happening in front, but it basically detects quick changes in the speed of the car in front just to keep you safe. Anyway, right now, we're going past Kempten, which is the home of Abt. The Abt building is going to be on the left side in a moment, but this road is always a very quick one. The A7 in the south of Germany, up towards Ulm and then Stuttgart and then continuing to Frankfurt. I still find it ridiculous to just cruise along at 270 odd. Lots and lots of caravans on the road though, trucks and general traffic, and also to think about lots of cars that aren't familiar with driving in Germany. So Italians, Swiss and Austrians who aren't used to Autobahns, and obviously Germans kind of learn to drive with the mentality of looking behind that other countries don't, and especially us Brits, we are awful at knowing what's on the road behind us, whereas a German will never move out without checking first, without mirror, looking behind, signalling, and then manoeuvring, which is what we're taught to do. Brits aren't very good at it, so here we're pretty safe in general. You have to keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, I think I've got an RS6 behind me, so game on! He's not keeping up right now. Welcome to the Autobahn! 250, just like that. I wasn't expecting it to rain today. That's come completely out of nowhere. It's been lovely weather, and in fact, even right now, the clouds aren't that dark. Oh well, common sense better prevail. Let's get the wipers on and be sensible. A bit more rain and a lot more traffic, and I stopped for a quick bathroom visit, and now my arrival time is 19:51. This is going very pear-shaped. I don't think I'm going to beat my arrival time today, unless it magically clears up and becomes empty, but that's not going to happen. Yippee! Another traffic jam! I'm so excited, except, look in front. I think, is that a new BMW 3 Series? Disguised Munich number plate? To be honest, with camo these days, I have absolutely no idea what I'm behind. All I know is that my nav is currently saying another 15 minutes of traffic jam, which is deeply irritating. This has not been a particularly smooth journey. At the moment, it says arrival at 19:41, including the traffic jam. Can we manage it? or is it going to be even later? It is really not my day today. I'm back off the Autobahn because the nav popped up a half an hour delay ahead. Now I have no idea what that is, but both Waze, Google Maps, everything says that the main motorway is completely chock-a-block. So we're on some countryside roads, but not exactly enjoying them. So today is going to end up being around about a 10-hour journey in total to get from Bologna to Frankfurt. 10 hours driving with, well, the only time I've been out of the car is to fuel it up. That's quite exhausting. We have the last little stretch of de-restricted Autobahn, and of all things, I find myself behind a McLaren 650S Can-Am. The Can-Am was a limited edition MSO version of the Spider. They only made a handful of them. They made the Le Mans edition of the Coupe and the Can-Am of the Spider. It's got a different exhaust system, lots of carbon fibre parts. Literally 3 kilometres to get to the centre of Frankfurt now. And here we are. The last stretch is a bit too busy to fully open up, but I didn't expect to see one of those today, so that makes the last stretch of the journey a little bit more exciting. In fact, I don't think I have ever seen a Can-Am on the road anywhere. And here we go. Frankfurt number plate on the way into town. Very cool. He's got his rear window open, which means he hears all the noise from his engine mounted behind him anyway. Just a kilometre or so to go. But yeah, cool. And here we are then, back in the garage. What a long drive this has been. But to be honest, that 650S Can-Am has completely woken me up. I feel very, very energised. And the green frog is still here, as kind of expected. It shouldn't really have gone anywhere. But let me park this up then, get my luggage out, and wrap things up for the Homeball, the journey back to Frankfurt. So there we have it, finally parked up back in the garage, the end of Homeball 2018. Now I started yesterday morning, it's taken me 2 days to travel through 5 countries, 2 different flights, and to drive almost 1,000 kilometers just to get back from the Gumball 3000. Now, if you're interested, my final arrival time here in the garage was 1942. So 15 minutes later than the nav said when I set it earlier this morning in Italy, which is not all bad when you consider just how congested the roads were and how variable the weather was too. But Homeball is a bit of a conclusion to the epic Gumball 3000. What a couple of weeks it's been, but we're back now. The decision remains to be seen as to how long I'll keep the stickers all over the GTR. To be honest, I'm relieved that I got here without trouble. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a memory, it's a unique thing taking part in Gumball. It's so special that it's a nice tribute just for a little while to enjoy and remember the experience for a little bit longer before stripping it back, probably to the yellow, then one day back to the black that's underneath that, the paintwork. But for now, let me wrap up this day. I was exhausted yesterday. Today, adrenaline has kept me going, but now it is time to crash out. That's the end of Gumball 3000 for 2018. Bring on next year's 2019 Mykonos to Ibiza. So thank you very much for following my journey, guys. I appreciate your support, and I will catch up with you again very soon. Cheers.